Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful, beautiful Wednesday with us on Live with Lloyd. I'm astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn, your host and astronumerologist, of course. As you see, I have my very distinguished guest who will be coming on in just a moment. I call him KP affectionately. We've been knowing each other for a couple of years now. We first met in Brooklyn, but that's another story for another time, and we become fast friends and things like that. But he is going to be doing numerical readings, so step to the plate with your birthdays and whatnot, because he is good and he used the Chaldean system of numerology. And what I want to do is, before we do that, I want to say hi to everybody. I want to dedicate this show to my granddaughter, whose birthday is today. Her name is Ari, and she turned a big '07. Okay, so she was in town, and I made a point of making sure I stopped by and saw her, gave her her birthday card and whatnot. So this show today is dedicated to my little lady, Ari. Alrighty. And by the way, the guest that I'm about to have, it just so happens his birthday is today too. I swear I couldn't make that up, as they say, but it just shows how the synchronicity seems to work in my life, numerically speaking. So for Ari, this show is for you, darling. For my guest that I'm going to bring on now, our brother distinguished Kyron Perry. Hey, KP, how you doing?
How are you doing? Good
People
evening,
see your
Lloyd.
name, but you're going to always be KP to me. That's how we do it, okay? And happy birthday to you too, my brother.
Thank you,
I
Lloyd. Honor.
understand you. You know, I have a grandson, but you have a son that came up with that background in the background, and he's just
Yeah, yeah,
he just turned 13.
yeah.
So it shows you what this newer generation of children can do. Because if you left it up to me, you see all my background is just books. But
Yes.
he put that together. So anyway, thank you very much. And before we go further with that, I keep last week I forgot to mention the forecast, and here it is on the screen. Today is Wednesday. It is the 10th of August of 2022. And this is Live with Lloyd, where the joy of numerology is the joy of learning and enlightenment. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please hit the notification button. I'm beginning to get the hang of all of this, but that's how it goes. So please do if you want to. The sun is in Leo. The moon is in Aquarius. It went into Aquarius this afternoon at 2:45 p.m. But tomorrow will be officially a full moon day. Okay, but right now it's a 5 universal month, a 7 universal week, a 6 universal day. So if you happen to be a Leo, like my guest, an Aquarius, like me, an Aries, Taurus, or Libra, or born on the 1st or the 6th, the 10th, the 15th, the 19th, 24th, or 28th of any month, this should have been an interesting day so far. All righty. So I want everybody to please call in with their birthday information, and we're going to have fun. But before we do that, let me do this first. Okay. Here we go. Um, KP, first of all, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, man. It has been a very interesting summer. We live in interesting time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, uh, so I am just taking it day by day.
I think that would be about the best way to do that in light of what is going on
Right,
nowadays.
right.
You are a Chaldean numerologist. Now, I teach Pythagoras, but for private students, I teach Chaldean, because you got to know that that's the older of the two. What
Yes.
made you of the two decide to put emphasis on the Chaldean numerology? What made you find that more of an interest or more your focus?
Well, I started off like everyone with the Pythagoras system, and
Mhm.
and my background is basically built on uh, testing things because I have an engineering background, and I believe that in order for you to um, when you whatever you're doing, you have to be able to run it through a testing system. Um, After doing the Pythagoras system, and I was introduced to the Chaldean system through you and other facets like um, my very good friend and mentor, as you know. Um, his name is Mr. Uh, what you call him?
He's the life coach.
Yes, the one and only. So we would both have debates and on it because he uses his practice through the Pythagoras system, and and I will critique it, and the
And that's
more
Life Coach Martin, by the way.
yes, yes, Coach Martin, and I would critique his work, and I'm saying, and ask him interesting questions, and be like, wow, I never saw that. I say, yeah, because I got this info and I'm following this lead, and so as I progressed, I took that info and then started to tailor it to my life.
Hmm.
And, lo and behold, I was opening up a Pandora's box of, many different, you know, um, the accuracy of it was, and I'm saying, both systems work,
Yes, they do.
but for me, when you want a straight shot, you know, cutting out all the fat and just going straight to the point, the Chaldean system, because it's based more on what you don't see, than what you see,
I like how you put that because that is exactly right. That's a great way
yes,
of describing it. It's what you don't see.
let's see, yeah, and I have came to a place where it's more about the interpretation because everyone sees the world differently, right? So what you see may not account for what I see, and vice versa. And
Hmm.
as you put, you know, those visions together, you would be surprised to a place where you're so amazed that, wow, I never even saw that. I never even knew that that existed. The point is you have to be open. So
Yeah.
so getting back to the question at hand is that, I segued into the Chaldean system and I've never looked back.
Hmm. Hmm. But I like how you took it about interpretations because one time they did a thing on eyewitnesses and they had about maybe, I think, 7 to 10 people. They all saw what they saw, but they all gave different interpretations. So,
Right.
so I like how you described that. So people are not going to see it. So 2 plus 2 is 4, but I guess it's from what angle, what perspective, what dimension, or whatever you might want to call it, that they see it, that they give their interpretation or spin on it. Because you and I and all the other numerologists that's been on the show, we say a certain number, we all basically know what it means, the planetary ruler of it and whatnot. But the first thing that are likely to come out of your mouth and my mouth and other people's mouths are totally different. We're all in the ballpark, but it's how we break down the interpretations of it.
Yeah.
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 So this is good. I for years I just used the Pythagorean until I was introduced, and then I was resistant. I'm a fixed sign, so it took me a minute. But when that thing got a hold of me, that's
Right.
all I do primarily. But I teach the Pythagorean because, again, as you know, it's easier. And for those that are more serious minded, eventually, if they do, they eventually go into the more deeper, older of the two
Yeah.
systems,
Yeah.
which is why they refer to the system of the Chaldean as a mystic numerology, where the Pythagorean is called modern numerology. So give or take. So, what will you need from our guests? Because in the comment section, I can see it's piling up. Um, how you want to do the birthdays, whatever the case is. And by the way, are you working on any projects, books, or anything? Hint, hint.
Well, you know, obviously I'm working on a book, I've been going through the 9 cycles, in
Hmm.
so I can um document my experience in the Chaldean cycle. Um, and in this particular cycle that I'm in right now, um, I'm in a six. So the six is all about learning something new. And what has been coming to me, I started probably about 9 months now, been doing yoga.
Who is
And
that again? What's that
yo-
again?
I've been doing a yoga
Oh,
practitioner
yoga. Yoga. Okay, yoga. Mm-hmm.
because it helps ground the body and make the body whole again.
Mm-hmm.
And I've identified that different aspects of the body is connected to the numbers, and each posture, representing which part of the body you want to heal is connected to a particular number. So I've been
Can you explain that? That's interesting.
so yeah, so yoga is made up of, a variety of different poses,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, from all the sun citations and the triangle poses and all that, the
Yeah,
tree.
there's the lion pose, the child pose, other poses.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So each particular pose works on a different aspect of the body. And um, what has come to me is that each pose represents a particular part of the body that you're trying to heal.
Interesting.
Like when you do the downward dog or the upward dog and so forth, you're working on the heart chakra, you're working on all that aspect, but each one is connected to a particular number, right? So I am sorting out which number appeals to which part of the body, in terms of um, having the yoga experience.
That's deep. That's
Yeah.
deep. Think this. They said the supreme position is the headstand.
Mm.
Is that number one? Because
Um,
it's straight up and down. So
well,
I'm
you
just.
you usually do it at the end. It's at the end of the poses, of all the poses. So what happens is when you go through the practice, and the
Hmm.
practice is, it's basic. Like the one that I'm currently studying right now is the Ashtanga Yoga, which is deals. It's very yogic. You know, people tend to twist up themselves like into a ball and so forth.
Hmm.
So at the end of the practice, after you, because yoga squeezes your body into positions and twists your body, so it helps like your organs and stuff to secrete the toxins, right? That's in your body. And the benefit of doing the headstand at the end is to drain all that toxins, after your body been twisting and holding these poses for about how many minutes, depending on your tolerance.
Hmm.
As you
Hmm.
practice, at the end, when you do the handstand and the headstand, you have all that just drains into, your head and your lungs area and so forth with the circulation. And then as you lay for the final resting, you kind of have an outer body experience.
So,
And
but
then,
what in your interpretation, since you're looking at the yoga positions from a numerical perspective, therefore, what number would you describe, therefore, after all the exercises, the ultimate, which is the headstand? I'm saying number one, because
right,
first of all, it's a new concept that came to me. So I'm saying, well, if you're standing on your head, that's up and down.
right.
Therefore, is that a number one? Or
Yeah.
what interpretation, numerical interpretation, would you give the headstand then?
Well, the headstand, yes, definitely can be the number one stand. And, it can also, um, it, it also signifies the body becoming whole in that one, I'm saying, as the number one, as we
Mm-hmm.
number one physically, it stands up straight. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because all the other poses, deals with your body, you reaching out or stretching to form different animals and different trees and different structures, as because you have bridging, you have all these, you have the turtle, you have the boat pose, you know
Mm-hmm.
so it rotates between animal and things. And yeah, I would give the final pose, the headstand, as a number one. Give me some time, probably in some shows to come, and I could confirm that for
Well,
you.
you know what's interesting, because I can see in my mind you doing a book on numerology and yoga
Yeah, yeah,
to do the interpretations of them. You
yeah,
know, when one does the lion pose or doing the child pose,
yes,
you know what I'm saying, what that means and stuff like
yeah,
that, and how it affects the body. So
yeah.
I think you're on to something, KP. To be honest with you.
There's also the tree pose and the pigeon pose. Yeah. So there's a variety of different animals and things that you can emulate.
But you're saying, in essence, these poses actually affect certain organs of the body
Yes,
to a person's health benefit. That's what
yes,
you're saying.
yes. So each organ now is connected to a particular number, and that's where I'm tackling, to be
Gotcha.
discovered, to be discovered.
Yeah, well, that's listen. There are things to discover every single day. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this over to some of our comment sections. Some may have questions about yoga. Some may have already been into yoga, because there's all kinds. There's one where it's real hot, whereas I forgot what they call that. There's hatha yoga, this kind of yoga.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with the yoga style you use, but then again, there's several schools of thoughts in terms of the yogic expression that I know.
yeah,
Anyway, but it's all designed to get the body in alignment with nature, so you can't go wrong no matter what you do.
definitely, definitely.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see what the commenters have to say. Mother was in labor. Doctor tried to deliver, but said there was no baby. Okay, don't know what that means. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, somebody says maybe you're familiar with this one. They says a trunk and the downward position, dogwood position. Are you familiar with these
Um,
styles?
they call it the dog position. Yeah, hmm, yeah.
Okay, what about the trunk?
The trunk. Well, people call them different names because, like you say, there's different styles of yoga. So the one that I practice is an ancient style called the Ashtanga Yoga, and it deals with more the breathing and the flow. Then there's Vinyasa, which deals with more movement and uh, in the flow, and vice versa. There's a lot of different yoga poses.
Okay, we got one person here who's a Leo, also like you, and her birthday is coming up on Sunday, I believe. I think it's the 14th. Her
Yeah.
name is Elizabeth Libby James. She says hello. She's August the 14th. So, what would you have to say for this young lady?
So when Elizabeth, her her month and a day adds up to 21, which it's a very good success code number. And Elizabeth right now has entered a 9 cycle. So Elizabeth, this process as you enter this 9, cycle, it's all about uh, cleaning house, um, looking to make room for the things that don't serve you anymore. You would find yourself in a place where friends, relationships, and things like job, like your work and so forth, and certain habits, you will find it taking a toll on you, and it's like pulling you down. And one of the things that you need to identify is, what don't work for you. Have no fear. Just cut the cord, or wean yourself out of it, and there will be things that are going to come and replace it um, in this process. So this year that you have entered is all about cleaning house. It's a process that has slowly but surely have started. So the other thing is too that she's born on the 14th, and being born on the 14th, you're constantly in motion. You have your hands into five different things simultaneously,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to really take time and prioritize the things that really needs your attention, because one of the things is that overindulgent, wanting to dabble in a lot of different things can distract you, so focus and clean house.
What about this person that's totally different, of a different sign, a different nature, different energy? What say you about Charlene Johnson?
So she's born on that's September. Next month is her birthday on the 6th.
Yep. Yep.
So Charlene, I would say to you, uh, you have just entered what you call a three personal year. Um, this is calling for you to expand your horizons. You're most likely were coming out of a relationship breakup or move from a particular place, and have entered into something new. But this is the time now you need to treat yourself, do things for yourself. If you like things like hiking, you want to have a little garden in the backyard, things that work for you, things that make you feel good. you
Mm-hmm.
know you're born on the 6th, that means you're most likely very artistic. You have a loving nature. Community is one of the things that makes you feel secure. And when it comes to the finances and so forth, you most likely have a handle on that. um, so I would say, this is the time for you to expand your horizons, but make sure that expansion comes with benefiting you, treating yourself, doing things for yourself.
Okay. Now this is another one. This is Sharon. She is born on the 7th of May.
Hmm. So Sharon is a Taurus. I know that off the bat. So Sharon, first things first, I would like to say, Tauruses are what you call queen of the pastures. You know, uh, when you add your month and your day together, Sharon, you find you have that number is going to be number 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that 12 for you um, is actually something that brings on a particular anxiety that, you know, constantly has have you stressed. I would say that, you know, it's the basis of, um, it makes your imagination run. You're born on the 7th. Your imagination tends to run, and your mind triggers, and it can create an anxiety that you feel like you're missing something or something needs to be done and so forth. You need to rein
Hmm.
that back. Reining that back will help you, manage things like your relationship if you are in a relationship, because not necessarily what your imagination or your is feeding is really happening. And I ain't saying that you don't have the intuition. You are water, so with a earth sign, but you have to find that balance. And you have entered, just like the first caller, a nine, a year of endings, and you have to decide what in your relationships, what in your environment, what in your surroundings that needs to be taken out. And you want to create that space so you can have um, fresh and new things come and occupy that will benefit you. It's all about empowering yourself. People have to realize that where we are right now, currently in the world, a lot of us have been challenged to do the work on ourselves. It's not about looking outward, it's about doing the work on ourselves. And once we do the work, the universe, will make the things that we want, the things that we need and attract come into place. So make that room so you can move forward.
That makes a lot of sense because two things can occupy the same space at the same time.
Yes.
So I would imagine so. We got Pamela. She is the 25th of November. What
Uh-huh.
say you about her?
Okay. So Pamela is a Sagittarius. No, not a Scorpio, sorry.
No, sir, you are correct.
Yeah, right.
First,
Yeah, yeah, sorry, Sagittarius, right? So, wow, so it's so interesting. Um, uh, when you add her month and her day together, you would find that she is entering a period of endings, like the person before herself and the person that started off. Um, so I would say the same thing, Pamela. Um, this this period that you have entered into, or as your birthday come closer and closer, you would find that you would be attracting the things that no longer serve you. Now, where you're born in your birthday, um, as a Sagittarius, at the end of the year, you have the benefit of having, new beginnings and endings. So you are like where the river water meets the sea salt water. You have that cusp. You have the the variables of both hot and cold and warm water mixing, and uh, you will experience, things that you need to end, and you will be experiencing things that needs to start and begin. And one of the things, being born on the 25th, it's a octave higher octave than Shannon, who was born on the 7th of May. uh, you love movement. You have a combination of the moon and Mercury combined into Neptune, and that combination that you have, um, that combination loves movement, loves to constantly, I like to call it like a gypsy energy.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
um, uh, going from place to place, not wanting to settle down. Things you don't like stagnant water. You don't like things to be dull and boring.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you may be called on to rein in some of that um, movement in order for you to focus and to gain the things that you need. Because the times that we're in right now is calling for all of us to be very mindful of our actions, and not to overdo do and burn out ourselves, because um, we are entering a period of challenge. So, you know, um, I know Sagittarius energy is very youthful and very outgoing. So take that time to heed the words that I say and make the adjustments.
All right. We have Stephanie B. She is born on the 20th of May.
Okay, right. 20th of May. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so Stephanie, um, you are Taurus energy, and you're right on the cusp, but you're more in the lines of Taurus still. Um, so being born on the 20th, that's a very moon energy. Um, so when you add the month and the day you were born, it's a 25. Um, you also like a lot of movement. You know, y the interesting thing about you have a lot of books. You're into a lot of visualization, wanting to um, investigate all the things that interest you. You're very knowledgeable. um, you're very sensitive, and this works for you in trying to find your path. The thing about being in this cycle that you have entered right now, it's a cycle of unpredictable events. So you are in this place now where, um, whether it's good or bad, you are in this place where you get up today, and all of a sudden you may get a phone call, and that phone call could bring you news that will take your life on a particular journey. I'm not saying whether it's good or bad, but
Mm-hmm.
expect, the unexpected. You would attract unusual things. Unusual people is going to come into your life in this time. You will most likely start a job, or be whatever job that you're in, you would find yourself having extra hours, working very, very hard. And that working hard, you know, you are not able to focus on your health, getting enough rest, things of that nature. So you really need to prioritize in this period that you're going through of unexpected events, to take care of yourself. Make sure you're hydrated, make sure you're getting enough rest, and also make sure you keep your pulse on your health.
Okay, good. Latasha says happy Earth Day to KP. And she is also born on the 30th of November in the city of Detroit.
Okay. Um, so Sagittarius, so we having a pattern here.
There's always a pattern, no matter what.
So Latasha, thank you for your birthday wishes. Um, Also, I would like to say, when I add your months, and your day together, you know, you are actually in a cycle of, or entering, will be in a cycle of, uh, it's known as the roller coaster cycle, you know, to put it, you know, bluntly. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Especially why I say roller coaster cycle, because roller coaster of your emotions. We living in a very sensitive time right now, and the good thing to know about where you are, especially when you're calling to Lloyd's show and we have discussions of this, we are only enlightening, we are turning on the light as you walk down a street of darkness. So you can see where the manhole covers are, the curb is, so you don't stump your toe and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So you are in a cycle of, a roller coaster cycle, which is, the key is managing your emotions, right? Because you're going to have many different things coming at you simultaneously, you know, affecting you. One of the things in this cycle I advise people not to do is stay away from, drinking, you know, like hitting the booze. Once you're feeling emotional and stuff and you drink a little extra and so forth, it opens you up to, a spiral. So the other thing is, you know, managing your emotions. Don't react. You know, take time, walk away, step away, breathe, do the things that can give you, you know, that time to process before you create a worse situation than than is. You will be having, a lot of short trips on weekends and maybe day trips back and forth. Um, uh, as long as you are able to understand this guideline of managing your emotions and making sure that you don't have your hands in many different pots, I think you will be so grateful for us on this conversation.
All right. We got a person here named Vicky Wright that's born February the 18th.
Mm. So Aquarius, and Lloyd laughed.
No, I see you said like that, but it's okay. I understand. Go right
Uh,
ahead.
yeah. So V. So I would like to say that, you know, being born on the 18th, you know, people who carry, it's a high octave nine. I would say that, you know, they are very beautiful people. People who are born on, that I have observed, who are born on nine, you know, their face are very chiseled, and especially the women on them, they have a very eccentric look. You being born on the 18th, um, most likely have had, you know, a spiritual, back and forth as you grow up, and even as you grow older, you most likely had that connection between the spiritual and the physical world,
Mm-hmm.
because that combination of the one and the eight, you know, it's very, which is a nine, it's a very, uh, uh, spiritual number. Um, when you add the month that you were born into, which is February, it adds up to 20. So that 20 puts you in what you call a 44-8, um, personal cycle. And, it's a cycle of abundance. But the thing about the 44-8, it also, has a lot of unforeseen events. So most likely things would pop up in abundance and then all of a sudden just dissipate. There's a lot of fluidity in it, in this particular cycle 8, because of the combination of that master number 44. Um, you will most likely have um, some issues with health in between. So it's not consistently straightforward, but it's also giving you the benefits of abundance and then slowly dissipating it and then go moving into another aspect of um, prosperity, constantly changing.
Interesting. This one is from Crystal Hoffler.
Uh-huh.
She is born December the 25th,
Okay.
and she's from Texas and would like a reading, please.
Okay. So we are dealing with our first Capricorn,
Yes, we are.
right? And it's a Christmas day for you, um, on the 25th. Crystal, thank you for inquiring about a reading. I would have to say that you have, as you get closer, we in what, August? So um, about 4 months to go before your birthday. You will be entering a new cycle. So this particular year for you have been winding down from making space, endings. A lot of new people have just started coming into your life. New things, job opportunities that you most likely um, been hoping for, some things you want to explore. I say to you, you should explore all of it. And I always believe that, you take all that you can and you splatter it on the wall, something must stick,
Mm-hmm.
because in this life that we live, it's very short. And we all have to stay positive and just go out there and just do the best that we can, because nothing is given to us and we just have to take life by the horns and don't let fear get involved.
Well, I would say so, and especially since seven is the sign or the number of worry anyway.
Yes,
Everything will straighten itself out
yes.
at point in times. But the point is also having faith. Let me see here. There's an Adrian here, and she says, "Good evening. Moving spiritually," and she is born on February the 15th.
Hmm. Yeah. The 15 is known as the money number.
Yes,
She's Aquarius. And, so what's interesting about, what's her name?
Adrian.
Adrian. Yeah, Adrian. So Adrian, I can tell, from her name, she's very youthful, very active, very youthful in her demeanor, character. And uh, when you add the month and your day together, that achievement code speaks of immortality, reinventing yourself, wanting to take care of people who needs to be taken care of. When you're down, you're looking to listen to music to kind of pop yourself back up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but the thing about it is, you can't get too much in mired into that pattern. You must be able to help those who needs help, but not linger in doing that, because you're gonna eventually resent yourself for all that time and energy you put in, because they may become an expectation. Um, the cycle that you have entered um, in this month, this year, is it's in a 5 cycle. So and it's a 41-5. So this tells me that managing your emotions is key, like I told the prior guest. um, and having uh, the 15, being born on the 15th, and we are in a 6 year. This is saying to me that, when it comes to money, trust, community, and I would say artistic endeavors, you know, there would be a concentration of those aspects of your life that will pop up and then resolve. And the cycle that you're in, which is a 5 cycle, that emotional roller coaster, will feed that. So all you need to do is to maintain some sort of consistent keel as you ride the wave of these emotions. As the trust issues come up, you know, you have to trust in yourself to make the choices that you need.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when it comes to family and community, you know, you have that intuition that you know who is for you. Pay attention to it. Don't let your emotions manipulate your judgment. The other aspect of it, keep things to under 5 things, because you you want to have everything popping and going. So that's what I would say, Adrian.
Sounds like good advice to me. This is the first couple that's coming up. Lin. She's born February the 23rd of 91, and her fiance is born on April the 2nd of 1990. And
Okay.
she says, thank you.
Okay. So, um, Lin, you're born on the 23rd. It's a what you call a very fortunate um, number, in the sense that it's a 5. It makes you very adventurous, and being born in February, it also you are a, a Pisces. Um, this combination here of the 23 um, plus the 2 month puts you at an achievement code of 25. Now, this 25 number um, tells me that you love to read, you are into a lot of um, uh, your imagination can travel. You also like traveling, because the combination of being born on the 25th, which is a 5, loving movement. Most likely, I would say, I would go out on a limb and say you maybe had some sort of gymnastic training or dancing in your life. And so I would say the cycle that you're in right now, it's a 4th cycle. Um, you have to be mindful um, of keeping a pulse on your health. And also, I would say to you that working hard is not a bad thing. The thing about working hard that a lot of people don't understand is that when you work hard, you get rewarded for it. If you're not accustomed working hard, then you have an issue. The thing about working hard, though, is that when you work hard, you have to treat yourself good in order for you to continue. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
nowadays, KP, they say you got to put in the work. So
Exactly.
it sounds better than I got to work hard, but
Yeah.
it's one and the same. It's just a matter of the semantics of it.
Yes.
It's like what you put in is what you get back,
Yes.
and especially when you're going through a cycle like that. But I think it's very interesting about the couple because she's a water sign, her fiance is a fire sign, but they
Hmm.
may say, well, there's a contradiction. True, if you're looking at it just astrologically, but if you're looking at it astronumerically,
Yeah.
he is a fire sign with a water number, and she is a water sign with an air number. So there's a kind of a balance there. So
Hmm.
these are some of the things. But let me ask you this: Have you, in my experience, I know when people come to me, they normally ask me about two primary areas. So I'm going to ask you. I'm not going to tell you what mine are. I'm going to, when people come to you, what are the areas that they most seem to be concerned with?
Um, Relationship, one.
Check.
And then usually
Definitely.
it's about, and the other big ticket item is money.
Yeah, yeah. That's so it's either money or relationships and money.
Yeah.
That seems to be
Yeah.
the
In that
number one
order.
thing.
And I was getting to her fiance.
Oh, please do.
He's born on my son's birthday. So
Uh-huh.
I'm very familiar with uh, with the 2nd of April. As you know, Marvin Gaye was born on April 2nd,
Yes, he was.
and the the second is it's a number. It's represented by the moon, and it's keen that people understand that being born on the second, you have to be mindful of the environment and the people that you surround yourself into, because they tend to be drawn into uh, their community. So if they're in a very positive environment, yes, they will emulate that positivity, but they can also find themselves in a negative environment and be drawn down by the negativity, because the moon is actually reflecting the sun. So whatever they get, I'm saying that's what they reflect, in my observation.
Well, that's yeah, that is the moon actually is a reflection, but and I think it is interesting, and maybe because too is it's interesting because his number, the two, and her number, the five, are the two most adaptable numbers from 1 to 9. And so
Right.
I guess it all depends on if they grow up with saints, they become saints. If they grow up with sinners, that
Yeah.
might be the case too.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
all depends on the environment, um,
Yes.
and that's very important.
Yes. Um,
Go ahead.
so one more thing I just want to add to the fiance. I would just say that uh, unlike your Linlin, she's in a time where she's working hard and she's bringing out. She needs that support. So as a fiance, try to give her that support. You actually in a cycle of a three, which you expanding. You know what I'm saying? Doing stuff for yourself, and also just be that support for her, and things, because she also is very adventurous, but she can be very reactionary. So you know what you're getting yourself into.
Okay, I guess he knows what that means. God bless his soul. Anyway, let's see. Let's see here. Oh, here's one that's interesting. A water sign with a water number, Rebecca. She wants to know her purpose and her correct life path.
All right. So her purpose. So she's born 11/7. All right. Right
Hmm.
away, I see that she's into a lot of books, And so her purpose is when you add the 7 and the 11, because uh, so so 11 and 7, that's going to give you 18, right? So the year that she was born is uh, is a 20 year.
Mm-hmm.
And so check this out. Her purpose is a 3811 life path. So, which is interesting because she's born on a 7. The partner number to the number 7 is a 2.
Mm-hmm.
3811 is a 11, which is a master number 2. All right. So she has um, her life path. One of the key things with her, she would constantly find herself in a duality mindset. So I would say most likely she would be someone who can be like an actor, like her purpose is into acting. Um, you know, uh, uh, because the reason why I say that, she's born in the 11th month, right? And also she has a 11th life path number. 38 is a 11, which is another 11. So that duality complex is constantly uh, going in and out into her mindset, her thought process. Most likely she have two of everything, and in doing so, she feels comfortable, because she has options. The majority of her life is that she have options. She has that number 7, which is a water number, that brings her and into this place where her imagination, she can attract these things. So I would say to her, the correct life path to answer your question is a 3811. And your purpose, I feel, what comes to me, it deals with something dealing with you can be someone else, so more acting, even doing like small commercials and things of that nature.
But it's interesting just to put my little 2 cents in it. Speaking
Mm,
of twos,
of
uh,
course.
she's born in a water sign
Mhm,
with a water number, and she's born in a water year.
mhm,
So that tells me that the natural affinity with water or bodies of water, living next to water or a lake or a pond or a brook or a creek and as we know, two and water represents the more intuitive side of the nature, which means she, and then being a 7,
mhm,
that this person should always follow their hunches, follow their first mind, and definitely believe what their feelings are telling them one way or the other. And
mhm.
believe it or not, I do know it's your birthday. It's incredible. We're almost at an hour, but we're gonna take a couple more. But before we do, I wanna put up your banner a second so people know how to get in touch with you.
Mhm. Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
go right ahead.
So my email address is kp at chironparisnumerology.com. Um, it's 1 R in the spelling in the numerology email. Um, that will be it will be changing soon, but for now, that's a good place.
Mhm.
You can also reach out to me on my website. You can visit my website, numerology, numericalidentity.com. You can go on there to get an idea of, what I do, and if this is something that suits you and you feel called to reach out. Um, and then my Venmo account is Kyron hyphen Parris. I look forward to hearing from you all. And also, you can also just send me an email just to just check in. And I know that right now we in a time now where funds are a little tight. Um, I'm not a stickler to be into like hard on somebody wanting to, you know, what they need to put down or whatever. But I work with people. I try to help them, give them guidance. So
Well,
don't
you
feel,
do. That's why you're Leo. I
yeah.
bear witness on what you do. Okay, definitely.
So I think we all need one another right now. It's a very interesting time to say the least, but I feel that we all need to come together and work together so we can be there for one another.
We're gonna take one more. This is Karen Hunter. She's born a Sagittarius, so must be like you said, Sagittarian energy is kicking through today.
Yeah.
She is December the 15th.
15th. Yeah,
Okay.
we had a 15th, right? We had a someone
We
born
had one born on the 25th,
on the
and
25th,
then
right?
we had one also born November the 30th.
Yes. So Sagittarius, the 15th, this is Karen is a very go-lucky kind of person, happy and constantly moving. And some people feel like, wow, she she acts younger than her age. She gets that a lot all the time. And so Karen, which is interesting, is that her achievement code it's 27. It's called the intelligent number.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, she has many interesting perspectives when it comes to topics and issues and so forth. Her mind is very witty. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
she Karen is currently in a sixth life path, and we are currently in the universal year of the six. So, Karen, for you, a lot of things that starts to pop up around this time is family issues. Especially in the sensitive time right now, we all have been called on to work on our history in our family, to iron things out, to make things right, to forgive, and so forth. And uh, this time right now for you is part of doing that. And not only why it's highly intensified is because you're born on the 15th. And being born on the 15th, in a sixth personal year, and going into a sixth personal year, in a sixth universal year, a lot of things are very clunky and it's piling up. It comes in waves. So I would say to you, just maintain your base and keep yourself in a place of harmony when it comes to artistic uh, and loving yourself, and you'll be all right. And I believe that you can do this because no one could take that joy from you as a Sagittarius.
And you know what makes it interesting, KP? Even her name, Karen, adds up to 15 under the Chaldean system. So she's locked in her sixth energy. She's in a sixth personal year. So
Yeah.
it's very, very interesting what it is. What I'm going to do is take a moment to put up your sign, a second your banner.
Mhm.
And this is how people can definitely reach KP. Please, he's a Chaldean numerologist. He's a great numerologist all around, a great human being. If people know Leos, he is definitely personifies that Leo quality. I'm looking at his mane now. If you look at it, um, I couldn't help it. I couldn't resist. It gave me. Listen, I'm doing the best I can. Okay. Happy birthday to you, though, buddy.
Thank you.
And these are his numbers: 917-535-7503. His number is 917 535. Now I know you do consultations. Have you ever thought about teaching, or maybe you counsel? Because I know we've both been busy over the last couple of years. Are you into teaching people too, if they're interested?
Yes, actually, one of the things that I've been called to in my sixth personal year, and Karen, that goes for you too. You will be summoned to teach. You most likely have many different skills, so you will be summoned to teach and to relay some of your wisdom to the younger generation. Um, I am in that cycle right now, and I have been teaching yoga for one, numerology is another. Um, we live here in the city here, New York City, and to live here you have to have wear many hats. So I
Yeah,
was,
that is true.
um, but uh, I am in that process of teaching and bestowing guidance on people who needs it.
Oh, good. What you're gonna do, KP? If you can hold on just a second,
Yes.
I just want to make just a couple of announcements. We're gonna come back um, on next week. There's a couple of things I do want to let you know. That hold on one second. That on Monday, okay, Monday's show, I'm going to have this beautiful lady who was on with us before. You seem to have enjoyed her. Her name is Shanika Marie, and she will be back again joining us on Monday, giving us the benefit of her wisdom. And for those of you, please, it's just the 10th day of August. But please sign up for your free monthly newsletter and you go to lloyd-strayhorn.com to sign up for it. It's absolutely free. You can leave your birthday information, but that's strictly optional. But you must leave your email so you can, in order to get the free newsletter. All right. So it's the August 2022 to find out what is in your stars. For those of you who live in the New Jersey area, I will be in Newark this particular Saturday at the Source of Knowledge at 867 Broad Street in Newark, New Jersey. Um, Here's the thing I like. This store has nothing but books about African Americans from every level, from children to adults, about historians. But the point that makes this fascinating is I was there last month in July. They give out books to the children absolutely free. I will repeat this. They give out these books to children of all ages absolutely free. And it's in honor of Marcus Garvey Day of Freedom, too. So feel free to join us in Newark this coming Saturday at 867 Broad Street. And the store is called The Source of Knowledge. And tomorrow I will be, I think I've been away about a week or two for something I've been going through. With the clubhouse, and it's Learn from Lloyd with numerology. And we're going to be talking about numerology, and we're going to do reviews and things of that nature. But that is definitely on for tomorrow at 7 p.m. on Clubhouse. And again, this Saturday, I will be in Newark. And bring your children out. Bring yourself out, period. But bring your children. The books are absolutely free. They don't, I mean, if you want to get 10 books, I mean, so when I was there last month, I got books for my 7-year-old granddaughter whose birthday is today. And I had a bunch of books to send to her, and she loved them all. So what I'm saying is you have no excuse to not get some books absolutely free for your children. But not only are there books that are free for the children, but they're books to free and liberate your mind. So I suggest that you come there too. All right. And I will see you there. Again, the free monthly newsletter, August edition, lloyd-strayhorn.com. And on Monday, Shanika Marie, and she will be telling us some of the things we need to know. But in the meantime, though, let me. Uh, okay, KP, is there anything for you, birthday guy, that you want to say before we sign off today? Any last words of wisdom to the people viewing the show?
Well, Lloyd, I would like to thank you for another opportunity to uh, physically make an appearance on your show. It's an honor.
It's
Uh,
an honor. It's
yeah,
an honor. Trust me, for you.
and I look forward to seeing you. It has been a couple of years since we saw one another.
Yeah,
Besides,
before all this drama started, but
right.
we'll get together.
But yeah, thank you very much, and to everyone out there, keep your head up, stay positive, stay surrounded by your family, and yeah, and just do the best you can, And I look forward to seeing you the next time I make a next appearance on Lloyd Show.
Well, that will be definitely up the road. Who knows what you'll be doing by that time? Maybe a book out, hint, hint,
Right.
or something else, or teaching classes or something like that. But KP, you're the best, and I thank you very, very much for coming on this evening. Okay, and
Thank
again, happy Earth Day, happy birthday, and all those other things, Solar Day,
you. Yeah.
whatever the case is, and now you can get back to your family and tell your 13 who hooked up the background. You need to come and show me how I did that.
He's
Okay.
standing right here. Yes.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, do give him my best. Is
All
that the
right.
one that's born on April 2nd?
Yeah, yeah. You want to see him? Let me
Yeah.
show you.
Sure.
Come, come. Yeah.
Hey,
This is Kyron.
Hi.
buddy. How you doing?
Good.
Nice hookup. Nice hookup, man. Okay. Give you a props. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Very
All right.
good. Very good.
Okay,
So,
Lloyd.
okay. Thank
Guys,
you.
have a
Thank you,
wonderful
everybody.
day.
Yeah.
You have
Okay.
a blessed day too. And
Okay.
everybody, I want to thank you very much for taking your time to send us your comments too, good, bad, or indifferent. That's how I grow. I'm used to comments. I'm used to suggestions. I'm even used to criticisms because that's the only way I can grow since no one is perfect on this planet. Not that I've met yet anyway, and I've been here for a minute too. So anyway, everybody have a great weekend. I think the temperature is calming down just a little bit, but for those that need to stay cool, please do so. And one of the ways of staying cool, other than being in an air conditioned situation, is to drink plenty of water. Okay, in other words, as they say nowadays, keep yourself very hydrated. So, everybody, I do want to wish everybody the best. And again, just as a review, on Monday, I have this beautiful lady, Shanika Marie, on. Again, sign up for the free monthly newsletter. The August edition is out. It's free, lloyd-strayhorn.com. And for those Saturday, I will see you this Saturday out in Newark at the Source of Knowledge bookstore at 867 Broad Street. Okay. And again, I do like to emphasize that one of the things they do is they give out books free to children. So, for those of you who like to read to your children, those of you who want to give books to your children or your grandchildren or whatever the case is, you have no excuse, especially if you live within the tri state area of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. And of course, I'll have my books there. I'll be doing readings and whatnot. And it'd be an honor and a pleasure to see you, those who are in the area. All righty. So, everybody, I want to thank you very, very much for joining us. And everybody, have a very, very safe week and a very pleasant day. And thank you very much.